You know what? It's making me really uncomfortable. So let's bring this back into something we can all feel good about and talk about. And this is something close to my heart. And I was thinking of this last week. Is the difference in your not just, I don't know, not your porn perusing habits from 20 years ago with the advent of the internet, but just the entire like sociology of pornography between then and now. Go.
What?
Just thinking of like, you know, the whole thing where like now like porn is fucking ever present. You can get anything you want and it's absolutely free. Whereas like, and I think of the kids now that are growing up, and you see on like forums and shit, whatever it is, like NeoGAF, like non-gaming or something, and you find there's some thread about, you know, nude pictures of Jessica Alba or something league, and everyone's like, oh, gross, and you're like, are kids just different now, like, or what the fuck happened? And I started thinking back of like the shit that I would have to jack off to in high school because there was nothing available, and so, you know, it's like I mentioned this before. Back in the day, but not quite Sears catalog bad. I mean, that's like junior high when you got nothing, right? You're just like hoping your mom's going to order some Victoria's Secret catalog so you can hijack it or some bullshit. but no, like in high school, there'd always be someone who'd get their hands on like a porno, but it would always be from like a gas station or something. And I talked about like the Colossal Combo series was one of the ones that would always be going around for us. And it was just like, it's when they first started figuring out that like a porno with like an hour long with the plot, that dudes are going to jerk so quick they're never going to get through the fucking thing or remember what's happening. They need a synopsis of last week, dude. Oh yeah, they were doing it doggy style. That's where it was. But and there would just be like nasty shit, like chicks with this horrendously fucking disfigured boob jobs, you know, from that era, where it looked like you could see the inflate to 50 psi like valve stem on the side of their memories. And like, there's this one I remember. Dude, come on, you guys! I'm gonna cop to some of this shit. You guys need to fess up. And I expect all
you're
of
out
you,
on a limb here,
except for
you started it.
we know N guy won't go here, but you, Jeff, and Robert.
Dude, I'll go here. I got to say, like, I think I may share something with the modern kid who might stumble upon some crazy shit on the internet, because I feel like all the porn that I found when I was a kid, I think like all my friends' parents were complete perverts. Because like everything that we ever found was just disturbing. I mean, like,
really,
one of the first things I ever saw was this fucking porno called Dr. Love Juice. That was like about a guy who ran a hotel who was like 200 years old, and he was living forever. He was living forever because he would sneak into the hotel rooms of women who stayed at his hotel at night and like drink the juices of their
secretions?
Yes, exactly. Like, so he would like sneak into the rooms and, you know, stick a straw in between their legs and like suck this liquid. And I remember watching this when I was a kid, and I mean I watched this when I was like 7 or 8, and I would just be like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, no, it was like Cub Scout.
7, dude?
It was like my Cub Scout leader's house, you know. Like I was friends with his son, and he had like weird shit. And I remember like he would like tape porns on like blank tapes and put and like write the titles on them that were supposed to be like unattractive to us.
Yeah, dude.
But he would fail. Like he would put like She-Ra on a tape, and we would be like, why would there be a She-Ra tape?
Why is this dude shaping She-Ra?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know, I just always ended up watching like the weirdest stuff. I think like the second porn I ever saw had an elaborate enema scene.
Whoa.
And I was just like totally fucking weirded out by it. But yeah, I think.
But dude, if you're watching porn at 7 or 8, it's all fucking scary. Even a vagina's fucking horrifying at 7 or 8.
I know. But I think if I had kids now, I think I would just be like here. This is where you look at naked people, okay? Just don't look at the picture. Just like stay here and don't go to the parts of the internet that are about like shitting in people's mouths. For the love of God,
dads today are like
you know, if you're curious, like, you know, look at this stuff.
Get your kids Playboy subscriptions so they don't end up on the fucking internet.
Yeah, but maybe it's like a gateway drug, like pot. You know, you start them on the naked people, and then they go to the people shitting in people's mouths thing. You know?
They get bored with it.
Right. So really, you just keep them on things like Seinfeld.
It works.
So
Or
just don't go down
in
that
Robert's
route at all.
case, you start them with the most fucking horrific shit, the enemas and stuff, and then they graduate to the Sears catalog. Like later on.
I was definitely much more excited to just like find a Playboy. I was definitely like more. I don't know. I was always like having the weirdest like run-ins with stuff. I mean, I remember when I was like, still really young. I walking to middle school, walking past a Safeway, and we found someone's dropped like package of developed pictures. Like they had developed pictures at Safeway, and we opened them up, and they were like this guy wearing like knee-high stockings and taking pictures of his dick, and we were just like really fucking weirded out. Yeah, it was just sitting on the sidewalk outside Safeway in Grand Prairie, Texas, and so it's just sort of like, oh my god. So,
now, would it have taken a lot of courage for this guy to bring his photos in to be developed at the Safeway in Grand Prairie, Texas?
I would imagine. I can't imagine
what was he
like
thinking?
I don't know. I mean, certainly people saw every picture that you brought in back then. You know,
they had to
each
develop
one.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. But this was
I don't
also
know
pre-internet, right? So he knew they couldn't be scanned and
Sure,
thrown up
there was
on-
no such thing as digital photography, so
Right.
or at least not consumer level. But
There were Polaroid cameras. I mean, if you're gonna, I guess people don't think about all that stuff.
And you
I
just hope that there's like, I remember thinking that back now, me and one of my girlfriends would take pictures of this. She showed a bunch of pictures of her, take them to fucking Safeway and get them developed. But we just feel like, they probably see a ton of this shit, dude. There's nothing weird going on, so fuck it, dude. Like,
I'm sure there was a lot of that self-bargaining going on. I mean, my first job out of college was a film developer at Wolf Camera, and we very rarely ever found any shit like that. But when something like that popped up, the other dude who like
Everyone's
ran the
gathered
development was like, oh dude, come over here, look at this.
Yeah. Should have thought of that. What
Of
about, like,
course.
you still haven't, dude, I know for a fact, especially you, Jeff, like, did everyone had to have caught to, like, stroking it to some shit that was so crummy that as soon as they were done, they're just like, you couldn't bring yourself to get the VCR out of the VHS out of the VCR. You just wanted nothing
I'm a
to do.
family man.
Like,
So.
I remember this one time, it was like a fucking graduation party, and someone got like a movie, it was like fucking this Miss fucking Claus themed with a bunch of elves who were of course midgets, and they got it for a joke. But I remember because there was nothing available, it was making the rounds among all of us afterward. And we're like, fuck, but Mrs. Claus, like, you could zero in. You're like, Mrs. Claus looks nice, like, but there's a bunch of fucking midget dicks poking at her. Like, did you just kind of like
we need to get this back on the rails. This is insane.
This is the rails, dude.
What happens when Shawn hosts?
I'm not done until I tell you about the time when there's this one in this one episode of Colossal Combos. It was my first exposure to like peen breakage where this guy. This guy's dick was crooked to begin with, but the girl was on top riding, and she was just going hard, and it popped out, and you could just see, we all hit slow motion, because it'd be like sitting on a hill and watching a train ready to fucking hit a car parked on the tracks, and it comes down. And
Unstoppable?
And the guy's fucking dick turns into a T-bar, dude. Like a fucking perfect 90-degree angle. Like he could shoot around the corner. Like if you're cruising around town, you'd have to watch out for like a dick poking around a corner, getting ready to shoot at you.
Wow, okay, this is the episode I'm not linking to on podcast.com.
Are you sure? I think.
Hey, Bejeweled fans.
Yeah.
All right, let's just get serious now. Let's act serious, everyone.
God. Yeah,
Wow.
we're gonna have to do a lot of like faux intellectualizing to make up for this. So.
Do you think that guy like voted for Republicans? Did he lean to the right? Was the bend to the right or to the left?
Oh.
Okay, so.